All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing the newest book by Steven Brust, and it is called Tsalmoth, I think. Don't know how to pronounce that. Tsalmoth. 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 Anyway, this is book number 16 of a planned 19-book series called the Vlad Taltos Adventure Series. Book number 1, Jerrig, came out 1984 or 5 or 6 or something like that. It's been out a while. So this series has been going for a long time, and we're up to book number 19. And I've reviewed a handful of these books already on the channel. So if you want to, watch any of those reviews, just type in my last name, Durfee, and Steven Brust, and those reviews will come up. But I have reviewed this and a few of the other ones. But this is my entire Vlad Taltos collection of books. When they were first started published in the 80s, they were just published in mass market paperback. And then, the last 7 or 8 have been published in hardcover. And we've got them, so let's talk about these hardcovers. Let's talk about the cover first, because I love graphic design and cover illustration. This has got a great... One of the things I love about this series is every single one of the books has a dynamite cover. Dynamite cover. Most of them were done by the great artist Stephen Hickman. Some of them were not. This one was done by the artist Russell Donjon Liu, and it's pretty cool. It's a picture of this bear with lightning bolts coming up its arms. It just looks like a badass with a symbol behind it, and it really matches the kind of the theme of the other books. They kind of all really go together really well, as you can see here. But anyway, I'm not going to show you every single cover. So let's talk about the Vlad Taltos Adventures. This is set in the land of Dragoria, the city of Audrey-Lanka, and it's kind of like the way to describe the world that we're adventuring through. Now, Vlad Taltos is our main character. In fact, the book is told through his perspective. All the books are first person through his perspective. He's got a great first perspective voice. He's funny, sardonic. The writing is crisp and witty and clever and funny. I just one of my favorite fantasy series of all time are these Vlad Taltos books. They're just so fun to read, and they're small enough you can read them in a day, and they're just great for rereads. I love everything about this world he's created. It's kind of like picture France, Three Musketeers type of a world, just without the muskets and cannons, but with a lot of rapiers and daggers and bows and arrows and assassins and sorcerers. It's a very sword and sorcery heavy sort of thing. I will just read the brief description on the jacket, and then we'll get into a little bit more of my personal thoughts on the series. Okay, so Vlad Taltos is in love. Now keep in mind, before I go any further, this is book 16 in a planned 19-book series. However, it falls chronologically in order. It's actually about book 2 or 3. So it kind of falls pretty chronologically in order early in Vlad Taltos' life and adventures. It falls right before the book Jerrig. And the Jerrig is like number 3 or 4 in the series. It was the first one written, but chronologically it's 3rd or 4th. This is the 16th one written. Chronologically it's the 2nd or 3rd. If any of that makes sense. He didn't write any of these in chronological order. I am reading them kind of half in chronological order, half in publication order, but I'm messing it all up because this is the number 16, and, well, anyway, you get it. Okay, so just keep in mind, Vlad Taltos has been through a lot of different adventures. Anyway, Vlad Taltos is in love with a former assassin who may just be better than he is at the game. Now, Vlad Taltos himself is an assassin, a thief, a spy, an investigator, a private investigator. He's a kind of a jack of all trades. He's sort of like the Harry Dresden of this city of Adrelanca in the land of Dragoria. Anyway, so women like, okay, so Vlad Taltos is in love with a former assassin who may just be better than he is at the game. Women like this don't just come along every day, and no way is he passing up a sure bet. So a wedding is being planned, along with a shady deal gone wrong and a dead man who owes Vlad money. Setting up the first and trying to deal with the second is bad enough. And then bigger powers decide that Vlad is the perfect patsy to shake the very structure of the kingdom. More's the pity that his soul is sent walkabout to do it. How might Vlad get his soul back and have a shot at a happy ending? Well, here's the tale. Anyway, so the book starts out with Vlad Taltos. He's in his office. Every one of the Vlad Taltos adventures sort of starts out like every private eye, investigative, hard-boiled crime fiction where he's just kind of the PI is just sitting in his office. Beautiful woman walks in, presents a problem to them, and he's got to go off and investigate. That's kind of how this all starts with Vlad Taltos. He's in his office, but instead of a beautiful woman coming in, one of his helpers, Krager, comes in and says, "Hey, listen, well, it's not Krager. Anyway, Styx." One of the guys, his name's Styx, one of his henchmen. Anyway, it's like, hey, this guy that owes us money, I went to collect the money. The guy mouthed off. Now the guy's dead, but we don't got the money. And then Vlad is like, well, I don't like it when I don't get my money. I mean, I understand he's dead and he mouthed off, but I mean, we didn't get paid. And Vlad cannot take Kanda. He can't. Somebody, and the person that stole the money is a Tsalmoth. And the Tsalmoth is a different race. So in this book, in this city of Adrelanca, in this realm of Dragoria, we've got all of these different races. We've got the Lyorn, the Tyasa, the Dazur, the Isola, the Tsalmoth, Valista, Jerrig, Yendi, Tekula, Orca. All of these different races of different kind of people, creatures, whatever. And they all kind of live in this melting pot of a city. And each one of them has its own unique skill. Some of them are known to be smart. Some of them are known to be dumb. Anyway, so this Tsalmoth, he owes Vlad money. One of Vlad's henchmen goes to collect. Dude mouths off. Vlad's henchman kills him. The money is never collected. And now Vlad's got a problem because he's like, well, I can't just let the rest of the world know that I'm the type of guy that doesn't collect on money. Even though the dude is dead, I've still got to go get the money somehow. So that's sort of the adventure that he goes off on, which leads him into a whole host of problems. And he's also getting married at the same time. And we know who he's getting married to. It's Kati, who is the other assassin. And he has a lot of adventures with Kati as they're married. And so I won't spoil how that relationship ends up in the next 14 or some odd books. But anyway, Vlad Taltos has got these two problems. His marriage is coming up. And he's got to collect money from this dead guy. Otherwise he's going to look weak. And he doesn't want to look weak. And then all of the other characters that are in all the books kind of converge in this one. We've got Kragar, who's the muscle. One of his other henchmen, the muscle. We've got Lyosh, who's his actual dragon companion, who we can see. I mean, that's Lyosh. He's a dragon companion that's big enough to... It's not a big dragon. That sits on his shoulder, It's like a little dragon, a little pet dragon, like a cat. Anyway, that's Lyosh. And Lyosh and Vlad can talk telepathic, through their minds. They can read each other's thoughts. Anyway, then there's Moralen, the Dragon Lord, who lives in Castle Black. He's in this book. Great character. Sethra Lavode, the Sorceress Witch. Elira, the other Sorceress Witch. Kira, the Thief. Kati, the girlfriend / fiance / assassin, fellow assassin, rival assassin. So you can see that there's a lot of things going on in these books. And each book... Each story, each chapter has this delightful little prologue where it's separate from the other stories. So the action-adventure story takes 90% of the book. The other 10% of the book is with these little prologues. They're about 2 or 3 paragraphs each. You can see them here. But they are basically Vlad's frustrations on the order of getting married in this weird fantasy place where a lot of the customs are similar to our own marriage customs here on Earth, but way different with a lot of other weird stuff thrown in. It's just funny to read all of him as he's trying to prepare for a wedding and solve a lot of, assassiny, adventurous, stabbing in the backs, being killed and revivified type of things. And I won't get into what being killed and revivified means. You just have to read the book to figure that all out. But let's just say that a lot of people die in these books. A lot of people die. And this is action adventure with a very witty protagonist. Great. I love this. This is probably one of my favorite ones in the whole set. And of the 16 of the 19 that have been written, this is probably in my top 5 of the favorites. So there you go. 10 out of 10.